Court grants bail for Western governor. Australian government to give position on Manus Centre. And Oil Search Foundation improving lives.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for Thursday's news. The National Court has granted 10,000 kina each court bail to convicted Governor of Western Province, Ati Wabiro, and his two co-accused, Dr. Modowa Gumoy and Norman May. Justice Penuel Mogish granted bail due to their serious medical conditions, which needs close monitoring by specialist doctors. The trio were convicted last Tuesday for 1 count each of conspiracy to defraud the state and misappropriation.
Justice Mogish ruled that bail after conviction will only be granted in exceptional circumstances. The National Court was satisfied with the bail applications of the trio and the supportive letters from the specialist doctors, including the Bomana jail commander. The trio applied for bail yesterday on the grounds that they have serious medical conditions. Governor Wabiro is a heart patient of 10 years and takes medication regularly. He was also an asthmatic patient and has high blood pressure. The provincial administrator, Dr. Gumoy, continues to suffer from high blood pressure and other serious illness which require frequent treatment. Local businessman Norman May regularly visits his specialist doctor in Singapore after undergoing heart surgery 2 months ago. The three were convicted for misusing 7.6 million kina public fund to set up Fly Care Foundation and deliver projects in the province. However, the court found that the project was not tendered according to the Public Finance Management Act, where every project amounted above 5 million kina must be tendered. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News.
The Supreme Court has appointed 2 representatives from the Australian government to give the country's position on the Manus Detention Centre. Today, Chief Justice Salamo Injia requested lawyer Ben Lomai and PNG Immigration to identify the person in charge of the detention centre before the substantive inquiry continues. The inquiry is to get statements from the refugees on whether or not they want to resettle in PNG. The Australian government will give its view next Monday. One of Papua New Guinea's largest employers and investors has just committed to improving the lives of communities through its foundation over the next 5 years. Oil Search Limited this week announced a funding of 185 million kina to Oil Search Foundation, specifically for work in the fields of health, leadership and education, and women's protection and empowerment.
This week, Oil Search Foundation marked another milestone in its short history, with the foundation unveiling its new logo. Coinciding with its rebranding was the announcement of a funding of 185 million kina from Oil Search to go towards the foundation's programs. Among those present to witness this occasion was Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, who expressed his appreciation to Oil Search for partnering with the government through Oil Search Foundation in improving the lives of communities where it operates.
I'm very proud of our government being a partner of Oil Search and the foundation especially, for truly remarkably trying to deliver high quality, world-class services to our people in many remote settings throughout the country. Health, as many of you know, is a very strong foundation for our government.
According to Oil Search Foundation CEO Kimberly Kepore, the support from Oil Search now secures the future of the foundation to make a difference in communities where the foundation is present.
Well, essentially, the Oil Search Foundation has a wide footprint in Papua New Guinea. On one hand, we cover the project impact areas for Oil Search Limited, which include Hela, Southern Highlands and Gulf Province. And on the other hand, through our grant management programs, we reach almost every single province in Papua New Guinea. So our reach is far and wide.
Oil Search Managing Director Peter Botten says the foundation represents a key component to Oil Search's commitment to the sustainable development of Papua New Guinea. He adds that as PNG's largest company, Oil Search believes conducting business in a socially responsible manner is a strategic and moral imperative.
It's the partnership with the bureaucrats, the National Department of Health, Department of Personal Management, the Hela government, the national government, all of which means that we can make a difference. And standing back and watching people die in Hela province, for instance, is just unacceptable to us. So there's great business drivers for us to do this, but also a really compelling moral obligation as a big company here to help government put something back and help the communities reach their objectives.
Post PNG paid dividends to shareholder Kumul Consolidated Holdings yesterday. Compared to 1 million kina paid last year, the state-owned enterprise paid half of that this year. Acting CEO Peter Tepuri said the business is faced with challenges when competing with technologies. He referred to the existence of mobile phones, emails and social media that's now become the convenient way of real-time communication. The cheque was handed over to Minister for Public Enterprise and State Investment, William Duma.
First being last year, Post PNG paid $1 million and today $500,000. Although our business has been challenged, Post PNG has taken the step to be innovative in terms of taking advantage of the asset base that we have to deliver the services to the country. And we believe we have started the process and we're moving forward in terms of taking the business to the next level.
A consultation meeting was held today for Phase 2 of the Promotion of Regional Initiative on Solid Waste Management in Pacific Island countries. The technical cooperation project was discussed between the Japan International Cooperation Agency in collaboration with the National Capital District Commission and Conservation Environment Protection Authority. JICA applauded the achievement made by the Waste Management Division of NCDC for the successful completion of Phase 1 of the project.
It was the second consultation meeting as well as the signing ceremony for the second phase of J-PRISM, known as the Japanese Technical Cooperation Project for Promotion of Regional Initiative on Solid Waste Management in Pacific Island countries. Phase 1 of the project saw a big improvement to the Baruni disposal site through the efforts of the NCDC waste management team. The main objective of the JICA Technical Cooperation, like J-PRISM, is to develop and enhance the capacity of counterparts.
In the coming phase, we put more effort on the SEPA to develop their capacity so that they can disseminate experience and knowledge and experience to other local authorities. And also we continue assist providing technical assistance to NCDC to increase their capacity and also assist them implementing their long-term solid waste management plan.
Chief Representative of JICA PNG, Takashi Toyama, said the Japanese Technical Cooperation Project for Promotion of Regional Initiative on Solid Waste Management is one of the most remarkable projects in the Pacific region. He said APEC 2018 is the ideal opportunity for PNG to showcase its waste management efforts to APEC countries. Today, the parties agreed on taking the next step to further improve solid waste management in the country. JICA thanked the government of PNG and especially the SEPA, Department of National Planning and NCDC for their contributions to the formulation of J-PRISM Phase 2. Deli Waigeno, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We continue after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. The wife of the slain police constable Samuel Pisa is in mourning over the killing of her husband on the weekend. As she mourns for his death, her worry for the welfare of their twin sons builds because the couple had not signed marriage certificates for their marriage to be recognized by the police hierarchy. They were planning to do this on Wednesday, but Constable Pisa was tragically killed on the weekend. Bethany Harriman reports from Alatau.
We went to the house cry of Police Constable Samuel Pisa to meet his young wife and twin sons. They have been mourning their father's untimely death for a week now with friends and family. Constable Pisa and Macy had been together for 6 years. They were going to sign the marriage certificate on Wednesday.
I'm worrying about my two sons, because when he left, by the time, their father and I, we didn't sign the marriage certificate. So, I'm concerned about that for my children's, finance side.
Macy's main concern is their twin sons, who she will look after since the father has passed away in the line of duty. She fears that the police hierarchy will not recognize their marriage and the benefits to look after their twins may not be forthcoming.
I said if we signed a marriage certificate and I'm a legal and also this, I'm not gonna worry because the government already know me. Later everything finished and they're gonna think about me and my children.
Constable Pisa was shot outside this store in Alotau during a robbery. The suspects escaped on boats out to sea.
But I don't think this went into that wharf area.
His killing has been condemned at the highest level. Milne Bay Governor Titus Philemon and Planning Minister Charles Abel have spoken out.
Our condolence and sympathy and condolence to the policeman that was shot on Saturday during the event. And on behalf of the government and the people of Milne Bay Province, I want to send our sincere condolence to his family.
We're deeply saddened by that. He was a member of the community here, and he was just doing his duty, serving his country, and we're deeply saddened by that. And we're making arrangements to send him home. And it's just such a waste, and deeply regretful. And you can't replace such any life.
The family are now calling on the police hierarchy, Police Commissioner Gary Baki, to show understanding and ensure that Macy and her twin sons are taken care of. Their father died in the line of duty. It's understood that Macy had visited Constable Pisa's family in Mendi recently. That shows that they were married traditionally. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV News, Alotau.
Watchdog organization the Ombudsman Commission has a new boss. Michael Dick was appointed acting chief ombudsman by the Ombudsman Appointments Committee on the 29th of July. He was sworn in today at Government House and now fills the position left vacant by former acting chief ombudsman Phoebe Sangatari. Richard Pagan was also appointed acting ombudsman. He is the director of the leadership division in the commission and fills in one of the vacant ombudsman positions. The Catholic Bishops' Conference has congratulated the government on the resumption of the academic year for universities. General Secretary Father Victor Roche said before the decision was made, the CBC felt that all hope was lost. While welcoming the resumption of the academic year, CBC has also asked the government to look into rural health issues.
Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands Catholic Bishop Conference General Secretary Father Victor Roche congratulated the PNG government, saying that the news of the resumption of UPNG was a relief to many who had lost hope.
Resume maybe in September, and we commend the Prime Minister for it. And we hope that all the state-run universities, the three of them, will be able to bring back the confidence that the people almost had lost.
When UPNG resumes, a reconciliation ceremony will take place, and Father Victor says CBC will be more than willing to be a part of the ceremony.
To play that role for reconciliation, because it will be a little difficult for the students to face the administration and the students to face the police. So it is necessary for that reconciliation ceremony, just as they had in Gorota.
But Father Victor also wanted to bring to light the issue where the Catholic diocese nurses who provide health services in the rural area had not been paid for the last 3 consecutive pay weeks.
Just now heard the news from Kiunga diocese that the nurses were not paid for the 3 fortnights, and they are in the rural areas. The church-run health facilities are the ones that keep the health services going.
Father Victor says while they were happy with the news of universities resuming classes, he asked the government to also look into the issue of rural church workers not getting paid. Adelaide Sturks Curry, National EMTV News.
Members of the National Doctors Association in Mount Hagen Hospital are planning another ultimatum in the coming days. This will be together with their sister unions under the Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority. Today, NDA National President Dr. James Naipau called on NDA Highlands representatives to review the undertakings after the meeting with Prime Minister Peter O'Neill regarding the Mount Hagen Hospital crisis. NDA Highlands representative Dr. Benjamin Yapo said the root cause of the hospital crisis is not being addressed by the Health Minister. This, he says, is in response to a statement made by Health Minister Michael Malabag yesterday. And now a look at our finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.3155 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3080 $0.4030 Australian dollars, $0.2732 euro, and 30.87 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold and coffee closed lower, while cocoa and copra closed the day higher. Palm oil, crude oil and copper closed the day higher as well. And on the stock markets, the Dow Jones closed at 41 points higher, the ASX is trading at 15 points higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading 17 points higher. You're watching National EMTV News. Among stories after the break, women in leadership roles. Stay tuned. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Cheshire Disability Services PNG has been providing care services for people born and those who have disabilities caused through accidents. Cheshire Disability Services have been running a program called Community-Based Rehabilitation. The program brings awareness, health promotion, medical care, rehabilitation and assistive devices to people with special needs living in communities.
This is Tore. He is 2 years old from Kerema and resides at Vabukori in Taikone village, Port Moresby. From a distance, he looks like a normal 2-year-old. But even though he was born normal at 9 months, he had an accident that has caused his left limbs to be affected.
We have the rehabilitation, and then we have clients who are maybe identified with social issues. They also we make referrals to proper or appropriate services, and also we have medical and health provided in this program.
Tore is a part of a community-based rehabilitation that Cheshire provides and receives basic physiotherapy by Tom, a field worker. Tom has 5 clients. He visits on Tuesday. Another client of his, 45-year-old Sam Charlie, also from Kerema, was in a car accident 3 years ago. After 2 years, he had been unable to use both hands and legs. But after Cheshire CBR identified him, his story has become a success story for the program.
He was bedridden for almost 2 years, but after Cheshire identified him, we normally apply therapies every week and rehabilitation, where now we recover, and is one of the success stories for Cheshire, I think.
And I'm really thankful to the Chesom's community development. Like, they have introduced themselves to the village level, which really improved me a lot and made me to walk again.
The story of Tore and Sam are only 2 amongst the many Cheshire helps. But Joyce Kopere, Cheshire's program officer, says that there is a need for funding for this program.
We still need more funding from, donor partners to come and assist us, because every day we are going out, we're using fuel, and there's increase in number of people being identified, especially the disabled people.
Adelaide Xerox Kari, National EMTV News.
Students and staff of St. Paul's Primary School in Lae this week had a visit from inmates from Buemo Prison. The inmates encouraged the students to take education seriously and refrain from being involved in illegal activities.
A drama depicting the story behind the imprisonment of a young inmate, Dwight Martin, brought tears to the students as they watched attentively. Dwight Martin was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment for murder as a result of taking part in a school fight.
Sabos you got dream and you got good education, you got good papa and mama. You must make useless dream and blue. You must make useless. One is something papa and mama only 2 hours long.
Songs written in the prison were sung by the inmates, 10 men and 6 women. A mother and inmate Kathy Willie, who was sentenced to 18 years, says getting the chance to get out and see the students is just like getting the chance to see your children again.
No can make him this like kind of crime. A crime, he got consequences belong him.
After the presentation of items by the inmates, St. Paul's Primary School donated boxes of goods including soap and baby diapers to inmates back at the prison living with babies. A farewell of handshakes and hugs between teachers, students and inmates were exchanged before the inmates prepared to leave. Colem Towal, the head boy for St. Paul, says what was prepared and presented by the inmates was a blessing of encouragement to the students.
This will enable them to make a better choice and they have a good goal for their future.
Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Lae.
Papua New Guinea Business Coalition of Women hosted a panel discussion on women's leadership in the private sector in PNG with the representatives of 3 generations. The event featured some prominent women in PNG and highlighted the significance of women in business.
The Papua New Guinea Business Coalition for Women hosted a panel discussion on female leadership in both the private and public sectors. A panel of distinguished women led the discussions, comprising of Lesieli Taviri, Lady Ivu Talvasa, Lady Winifred Kamit, Violet Iopi, and Karen Mitchell.
I think there's a lot of factors to consider in terms of my own personal success. Number one is, I suppose, having the drive and the aspiration to actually get there, but I think it's also equally important to have a supportive household, in particular a supportive family.
The women talked about the importance of having women in leadership roles, what's holding women back from taking on leadership roles, and how women can accelerate economic empowerment.
I think it helps with the equal contribution of the women in terms of our social, our economic and our political development. As they say, there's always 2 sides to a story. Men hold powerful positions, men hold more senior positions, so why not our women? They have an equally important contribution to make, and that at the end of the day helps with our own development agenda.
The forum was honoring the groundbreakers, celebrating the high achievers, and inspiring the next generation of female business leaders. Daphne Rassahay, National EMTV News.
Demand for passenger and cargo movements in the country has prompted PNG Air to open another sales office in downtown Port Moresby. The new sales office is located at the Pacific MMI building ground floor, a convenient location for customers based in the Central Business District area. Chief Commercial Officer Paul Abbott says it's an ideal location with additional staff to ensure customers are served efficiently and professionally. Here with National EMTV News after the break, Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has conveyed his best wishes to the PNG Olympians as they prepare to compete at the Rio Olympic Games. The Prime Minister, in his remarks, said representing Papua New Guinea at the Olympic level is a tremendous honor and all athletes will carry the pride of the nation with them. He urged all Papua New Guineans to get behind Team PNG and gather in homes and communities to watch our athletes compete on the world stage. The Prime Minister said the government will continue to extend the highest level of support to the development of sports throughout Papua New Guinea. After months of training, 3-time Olympian Ryan Pinney is finally in Rio with the rest of Team PNG. For the Superfish, the Rio Games may be his last attempt at an Olympic medal.
In the last 3 years, Ryan has attended a few international events such as the Masters competition, Commonwealth Games, and one of the biggest games that took place on home soil, the 2015 Pacific Games. Ryan competed in front of the home crowd, where some of the events were part of his training on top of his usual trainings for the Rio Olympics. Ryan was training both overseas and in the country for what might be his last shot and to end his swimming career at an international, if not world-class event. Ryan's 2016 Olympic preparations all started when his wife Carly asked him to take one last shot at the Olympics to do it for his fans, his family and the country he is always proud to compete for, PNG.
Well, I'm actually trying to encourage him to go to Olympics next year, but it is a lot of training. Again, he is working full time now. He did take a bit of time off work for these games to prepare. It's up to him. I would like to encourage him to just do one more Olympics and then call it a day. But yeah, this will most likely be his definitely last.
But this will not be the last time we see or hear of Ryan. He will be seen back home in the country doing what he loves doing most, and of course swimming, coaching and training young and upcoming swimmers of tomorrow. Today, Pini is one of the most successful athletes, proving that hard work, dedication and passion in any sport goes a long way in achieving great results. The 2016 Rio Olympic Games will commence tomorrow, and you can watch the opening ceremony this Saturday at 9 a.m. live on MTV. Godwin Eki, National MTV Sports.
Today marks 100 days till the start of the Under-20 Women's World Cup, and to mark the occasion, Minister for Sports Justin Chechenko officially began the clock ticking for the event. In a small ceremony outside the Sejongai Stadium, the official countdown began for the biggest sporting event to reach Papua New Guinea's shores.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To commence the 100-day countdown, the Sport Minister Justin Chechenko, PNG Sports Foundation Executive Director Peter Chamalili Jr., LOC Chief Executive Officer Seamus Martin, PNGFA Senior Vice President Linda Wanuhali and PNGFA General Secretary Demirit Milang were present to witness the digital countdown to 4 p.m. That timing is the official kickoff for the first match of the Under-20 Women's World Cup that will be played at the Sejongai Stadium on the 13th of November.
This is not just a government initiative, this is PNGFA and FIFA initiative. The government's there to partner, to support and enhance and to make football come up in this country like it never has before.
Local Organizing Committee Chief Executive Officer Seamus Martin said the countdown clock would be visible to the residents of Port Moresby, who will play host to this world sporting event, saying also that a goal for the LOC was to fill up the stadiums come November. The countdown clock will act as an exciting reminder for the residents of Port Moresby of how long until kickoff, as well as help build up hype for the event. Martin had said with 100 days to go, the local organizing committee is working very hard to ensure that the stadiums are filled with spectators and fans. Preparations have picked up speed within the LOC, with each functional area ensuring they have everything in place.
This game belongs to PNG. It does not belong to one sport like PNGFA or soccer. Let's say that the event belongs to Papua New Guinea. So I'd like all Papua New Guineans, I'd like to appeal to all the country, PNG, to take ownership of this and be proud of the game that the world is coming and welcome, get ready and excited to welcome the world.
The FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup is the biggest sporting event of this stature that has ever been held and broadcast from Papua New Guinea to the world. And it is a unique opportunity for PNG, as the host country, to show the world it is capable of hosting big events. Jeremy Mwogi, National MTV Sports.
The draws for the 2016 Momasa Regional Qualifiers for the Besta Cup have been released, with over 24 teams in both the men's and women's divisions confirmed to participate. Tournament organizers have said that the Momasa Qualifiers are the biggest event on the Besta Cup calendar and are confident of the standard of competition.
Heavyweights Lay Football Association have been placed in Pool A, while hosts MSA are in Pool B. In the 2015 edition of the competition, Madang had been unable to make it past the semi-final stage, and it had ended up being an all-Morabian final. This time, however, with the home crowd behind them, Madang will no doubt be heavy favourites. Pool A will also feature Ramken and Kairuru from East Sepik, Pool B hosts Madang Soccer Association are joined by Watut and Maprik. Lahi in Pool C and Wow in Pool D will be the teams to watch out for. District neighbours Leron and Ramu will fight it out in Pool E alongside Malala. In the women's format, only 6 teams with LFA, Wow and Bogia in one group. Lahi and Wiwak joining the hosts MSA in the other. The regional qualifiers will begin on the 10th of August and end on the 14th. Jeremy Moggy, National, MTV Sports.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Trukai Sports after these messages.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. As Rio de Janeiro gears up for the opening ceremony on Friday, a string of problems have indeed made many question the success of the upcoming games, from a recession to cost overruns to forced evictions and pernicious pollution. Despite all that, the organizers are confident the infrastructure and the quality of the water are up to scratch.
The lead up to the games has been gritty by concerns of water pollution, Zika pandemic and security. Some athletes have been training in Rio while others just arriving, and by and large they're happy on what they see.
We're confident we've got the right measures in place. We talk to sailing and rowing on a regular basis. They feel comfortable with the situation, so hopefully that's not going to be an issue.
Rio has been transformed since it won the rights to host the Olympics. New infrastructures given a facelift after years of decay. The city mayor said it wouldn't have happened without the games.
And the Olympics was never about, let's solve all the problems of the country. So these are things that we face, challenges that we still face, and this is a challenge for us Brazilians. It's not about the Olympics, it's about us, it's about getting a better country.
Many of the problems that have reflected Rio in the run-up to the games will of course remain once the athletes, spectators and press have gone. The Brazilians will have a party and they love their sport, and for the second time in 2 years, Brazil has shown it's perfectly capable of organizing a global sporting event. The longest and probably the most geographically diverse torch relay in Olympic history. Designed to get this huge, sometimes spectacle nation behind the games, and on Friday, it all returns here to Rio de Janeiro. Shane Soroya, National, MTV Sports.
Back home into the AFL, the recent launch of the POM AFL pre-season has seen almost 20 teams participating in both the men's and women's divisions. The competition will be in its final round of pre-season this weekend and so far is yet to gain more participation, especially in the women's division.
POM AFL season proper will be launched next weekend. After the final round of its pre-season matches this weekend will see most teams take part. Some of the oldest teams in the POM AFL men's division, such as Concept Cobonis, Defence Hawks and West Eagles, will put their footy skills to work. West Eagles has joined again this season after dropping out of competition 10 years ago, and the match this weekend is a must-watch as their presence in this competition may well be challenging for other younger, inexperienced teams.
We started introducing the women's in 2013. This is the 4th year now we're going through. It's because most of the girls are playing other codes as well, and other code seasons all run at the same time of the year, so it's pretty hard to get girls playing here and then going and playing rugby league. Some go play unions, some netball, some whatever, and it's a really big ask. And so far we started off with 6 teams, and we've cut back to 4.
Like I said, the season proper will be based at the central location of Coles Oval, and hopefully more can come along and participate. Organisers are saying the competition will be providing players for Team NCD and Team Central for the PNG Games, and since Team NCD is already in place, more players need to participate as they have yet to finalize a Team Central side. Dini Rose Raiko, National, MTV Sports.
PNG Sports Foundation has plans to establish another high-performance centre in Leh. Director of High Performance, Aaron, also said setting up high-performance centres around the country will benefit athletes, especially in outside provinces. Godwin Eki reports.
Momasi region will be the second region in the country since the establishment of the HPCE in Port Moresby, covering the southern region. This event was cemented after negotiations took place between the PNG Sports Foundation and the PNG High Performance Centre of Excellence. To keep the foundation running, HPCE has been speaking with the public and interested individuals for a variety of positions. A strong support and commitment has been shown by the Morobe Sports Office and Team Morobe officials in regards to the expansion of the facilities.
We understand that there's an 8 million population in the country and we're not targeting enough of the right athletes if we're just based here in Port Moresby. So to complement what we do, we're expanding our model that we've been able to successfully deliver over the last 2.5 years.
He said setting a proper platform of support for the athletes will go a long way in helping our athletes prepare for any national and international events.
We're obviously about what we can do in terms of capacity building. We've brought on a full-time training and development officer now, and their role specifically is looking at how do we build up the capacity of the staff that work in sport. We know that there's a real lack of quality education in sport. There's no current registered sport education programs in Papua New Guinea.
Awareness will be conducted to provide interested coaches, athletes and administrators to inform them of the importance of having a high-performance centre of excellence in the region. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports for today. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we have your weather details for the next 24 hours. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Here's a look at your weather for the next 24 hours. We begin in the southern region. Fine weather in Popondetta with a top temperature of 31 degrees. Mostly fine in Alotau with a top temperature of 31 degrees as well. A shower or two in Daru and Kerma, and Port Moresby. Some showers and thunderstorms with a top of 31. To the Momase region, mostly fine in Ley. Rain expected in Wau. A shower or two in Madang, Wibak and Vanimo. Fine weather over the next 24 hours. In the New Guinea Islands region, fine weather in Lorengau, showers in Kavieng, Kokopo and Rabaul, a shower or two in Kimbe and a shower or two in Buka. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, all centers to expect showers with morning fog. A look at the forecast for small ships for the next 24 hours. There is a strong wind warning current for all coastal waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Island, to Kerama, Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samarai Island, Sudest and Rosal Islands. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerama, Yule Island, Hood Point, Samarai Island to Sudest and Rosal Island, seas 2.5 to 3 meters. Waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel to Finchafen, with waters of Long Island, Madang, Bogia, Wewak, Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, with waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and waters of New Island to New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Vitia Strait and CSE Islands to Long Island, seas 1.5 to 2 meters. And a look at the ocean forecast for PNG areas. Coral Sea, seas moderate to rough with southeasterly winds at 20 to 34 knots. Solomon Seas, seas slight to moderate with east to southeasterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas slight with southeast to southwesterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. And the Pacific Ocean, seas slight with east to southeasterly winds at 10 to 50 knots. Before we go, we recap our main stories for tonight. Court grants bail for Western Governor, Australian government to give position on Manus Centre, and Oil Search Foundation improving lives. And that's the way it is for today, Thursday, the 4th of August 2016. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team, I'm Merabatulo. Pleasant viewing. Good night.